This is Hunt 919 True Sports. Just signing in real quick. Just witnessed the big blowout loss that Oregon put on Colorado. The score was 42-6. First of all, you got to say shout out to the Ducks. They were well prepared. Coach and his coaching staff did a great job getting ready for Colorado. But at the same time, they're a top 10 team for a reason. They're very good. So I'm just go through some of the points of the game, tell you how I feel about it, and be done with it. One thing that is kind of unacceptable is Colorado seems to deal with a lot of block extra points. They have to stop that. I don't care what team you're playing. That's something that you can't stop and that you can't control for the most part. So they have to stop that. That's one of the things that was really bothering me. And I'm every time they kick the ball, I don't trust it. Even before today's game, I just don't trust it. They have very good kickers. It's not the kickers, but the blocking for kicking is terrible. I was watching the game with Big Dog Chico while they was doing the live broadcast of it. And one of the things that's bothering me is everybody keeps complaining about the offensive and the defensive lines. And you can complain all day. That's what they have, okay? You have to remember they put this team together in under 6 months. And they have exceeded expectations because of that. It's not easy in the trenches as everybody thinks it is. They just think, oh, offensive line, defensive line, you need to block better. You need to pass block better. You need to run block better. Those are some big boys down there. And in every aspect of the game on both sides of the ball, Colorado was outsized. And they weren't just big guys. They knew what they were doing. That team has been put together for a while. And those are big, huge grown men. I know that some of their offensive linemen get recruited coming out of Hawaii from listening to Big Dog to his channel. And, those are naturally big guys, big men. So those are things you have to take into account. And I know nobody wants to hear this because of all the success that Colorado has had, but you do need time to really get the team that you want. You cannot get everything that you want in 6 months from a transfer portal. You can't do it. You need a couple of years to really solidify everything that you're trying to get. That's why I think the coaching job that's been done by Coach Prime, his staff, is tremendous because they've done way better than I thought they would with the small amount of time that they had to reverse a whole program and to reverse a whole roster. That's something that the pros don't even do. So that's why my take as far as coaching just comes from a different point of view, how I see things. So we need to stop complaining about the offensive and the defensive lines. It's not like you come up with a different scheme. You can't change the size of those guys, during the season. You may figure out, maybe your running back can step in and block a little bit more, which they did when they added number 22 in. He came in and did a good job. McCaskills. I'm saying his name wrong. I'm sorry, but everybody's waiting for him. But and it does make a difference when he's out there, by the way. But maybe that's one thing you can do is max protect a little bit, to help your line out. But we need to stop complaining and change the offensive line, change the defensive line. We're not doing this. We're not doing. It's not going to happen like that. They're not going to grow that much bigger during the season. And if they do get bigger, the other teams are getting bigger too. So I took that. The running game, they put McCaskills in late, and I didn't see an explosion of anything, which I totally understand. A lot of people don't understand he's been out of playing football for a year. That's a contact sport. That's something to get used to. You also have to understand he has to learn to trust his knee. In practice, you can get away with it because it's your team. They're not really trying to really put it to you, but the other team is trying to tackle you hard and for real. So after today's game, mentally, he'll know if he's ready, and we'll know by next week. So it was good to see him in there, but everybody kept calling for him, and it's like, listen, you just don't wake up from an injury like that, go out there and do great. That normally doesn't happen. So them putting him in late was good to see. So the running game needs some improvement, but your running game is going to always struggle if your offensive line is struggling. That's just how it works. Shedeur, of course he didn't have a good game. When the offensive line is getting pushed back into your lap, you just, unless you're Michael Vick or somebody like that, just some type of exceptional athlete, and you can get away from that rush all game and make passes, you're just going to struggle. And he did struggle. He normally is the main reason for the most part that they win, but it's not much he could have done today, and it didn't bother me, and it didn't surprise me. I'll tell you why at the end. One thing I think he does have to do, I know Coach Prime tries to defend him, saying that when he holds onto the ball, it's because someone was not what they were supposed to be, which I believe. But if they're not where they're supposed to be, and you know you don't have that much time back there, you have to throw the ball away. It's just something you have to do. You've taken, I think, more hits than anyone in the NCAA so far. You're either number one or number two, and you won't survive long like that. And let me tell you something about getting hit a lot. If they keep projecting him to be a first round pick this whole year, and he keeps getting hit, that's going to force him to leave. Even if he doesn't want to leave, a smart manager, your dad, the pros, whatever, they'll tell you better get out now, because if you keep getting injuries, your stock is going to drop. If you become injury prone, your stock is going to drop. So pay attention all year to the amount of hits he takes. That could be a deciding factor if he comes back next year or not. If he's still high up on those boards. He's taking too many hits, holding the ball a little too long, and sometimes, it's not his fault. Everything I'm saying is just, I'm just trying to, it's not in order, of course. Travis Hunter, did they miss Travis Hunter? I'm going to say no. You know why they didn't miss Travis Hunter? Because it wouldn't have mattered. Oregon is a legit top 10 team, not a hype top 10 team, a legit top 10 team. Meaning they look like a team that could be fighting for the playoffs at the end of the season. They are in a tough conference, of course, but they have the team to play in the tough conference. At least at the top 3 or 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. At the top 4 of the conference, they definitely have the type of team that can be anywhere in the top 4, maybe number 1. That's just what type of team they have. So Travis Hunter wouldn't have made a difference. Everyone kept saying, he's missing Travis. Travis is not Superman. Much as I like Travis, he's not Superman, and it wouldn't have mattered today. Oregon was all over them. They outsized them. They outclassed them. They out everything them. They outcoached them as well. Why am I okay with the loss? At first, it was bothering me. You never want to see a team you like or that you're rooting for get blown out like that. But at the same time, they were 3-0. They're ranked. Okay. All these celebrities come to the game. That's all cool. The crowds are sold out. That's great. But sometimes you do need to be put back in your place to a certain level. We all, and this is from an ex-athlete, we all get a little too cocky at certain times. I call it player arrogance, meaning you don't have to be an arrogant person, but you have to be an arrogant player to a certain level just to, go out there and compete against people at the top level. So I'm glad they took this loss. I'm glad it was a bad loss because this will help the coaching staff. What do you mean it'll help the coaching staff? The coaching staff can look at them and say, I told you, we still got things to work on. You believe me now, don't you? Yes. Now you don't think you all world, do you? Nah, coach, you were right. I told you you couldn't do this when you curl. I told you couldn't do this when you take these slants. I told you can't hold the ball. I told you as soon as we hike the ball, we got 3 seconds, maybe 3.5 at the most to get it off. When you play teams lesser than you, you don't really believe that. You be like, I took 4.5 seconds, coach, and I got it off. And coach is going to look at you like, listen, I'm coaching you for the best teams in the league, not for the worst teams in the league. I want y'all to think about that. When you're coaching your team, you coach them as if you're going against the top team in the league every game. Just coach them hard like that. Let them know we only have a certain amount of time to get this off. Our line's not going to hold up. We got 3 seconds to get rid of the ball, and that's what it has to be. I don't care who we playing. So I think this will take them mentally. I think it'll be good for them. The long flight back will be good for them. I think all the hype, the hype that I actually love, but I think the hype will slow down a little bit. I think the kids will understand it's a long season. No, you're not the greatest, right now. We still have a lot of growing to do. Yes, we are still a new team. Teams are not going to bow down to us, and we have to go hard. So overall, I think that this was a very good loss. I hate it for them. I didn't want them to lose that bad, even though I think Oregon kind of let off the gas a little bit in the second half. I think the score could have been worse. But overall, this was a good loss for the University of Colorado, the Buffs. And I know they'll bounce back from it. And it'll help them prepare for USC next week. It'll be another, good team / great quarterback coming in. He's Heisman Trophy winner, defending Heisman Trophy winner. He's going to be tough. But you played a team. You're not going to play too many more teams on your schedule that's going to be better than what you played against today. So take this loss. It's just a bump in the road. You're still a good team. You're at 3-1 now. You're still ranked way above and far ahead of what anyone thought. So I'm still proud of them. I hated to see what happened today. But overall, it was good. And number one got in. McLean got in. Actually got a hit and looked hyped about it. I have to be honest, even though I think he was playing against the third stringers, whatever it was, as far as the eye test, he looked good to me. But of course, I'm not at practice. They know more than what I know. But let's hope that some of these guys get in and see what they can do at their time and pull for them, and hopefully their talents will shine through. We'll get to see what they're all about, and you know they get back on track. Next week is gonna be another tough opponent. It will not shock me if they get beat bad, not because they're a bad team, but because they're not a top 10 team yet. We just have to accept that. Now, can they be a top 10 team by the end of the season? I don't know. Can they stay a top 25 team? I believe they can do that. But they are in a tough conference, and most of the people in that conference are ranked. So that's my little bit on today's game. They lost the game 42-6. We're going to keep pulling for them, keep rooting for them. This is Hunt 919 True Sports. Ride with me.